Welcome to the Wally Show Aftercast. All the stuff we did not get to during the course of the show today, which brings us to Weekend Plans. Nope, let's go to Weekend Plans.
I'm on board.
Nope.
All right, what are you guys doing?
Rock, you're the worst.
No.
It's my vacation.
He just wants to hurry and get out of
I
here.
know.
Because he doesn't care about you potties.
I do, and I will care about you more when I'm rested. No, so it is Friday, and we will do Weekend Plans, but yeah, we'll go through some of the stuff. Did you see that? Okay, so you've seen the story about Bronny, LeBron James's son.
It just hit me. His name is Bronny, like the paper towels.
Oh, or like LeBron.
But like the paper towels.
Or like the paper towels.
That's like the most non-sports fan comment I've ever heard.
Exactly. And so it's interesting, though, because Elon Musk is in a little bit of, not hot water, because, I mean, he's a billionaire. What are you going to do to him online? Ooh, you're mean. Okay, whatever. I own Twitter. But so Musk, he tweeted something about Bronny and the COVID vaccine. Because I know. Right? Okay, so here's the thing. Musk, somebody was writing this article, and the author of the article was very indignant about Musk's tweet, and the tone of the whole article was like just kind of angry. But says Musk didn't support the James family the way a civilized person would, the way many did. He didn't show empathy. Musk instead wrote, "We cannot ascribe everything to the vaccine, but by the same token, we cannot ascribe nothing." He added that myocarditis is known as a side effect of COVID-19. So he's an outspoken guy. People call him a conspiracy theorist. He did not lockstep with the government and just towed the line with them during COVID. So what he's saying is something that I had actually thought. My very first question when this kid had cardiac arrest was, I wonder if he had the vaccine. Mm-hmm. Why would that be my first question? Because with the little bit of study that they've done on this thing, because again, remember, this vaccine was rushed and pushed through everything just to help us somehow navigate the pandemic. And I'm not even saying that's wrong. We were in a bad way. We had to figure some stuff out, so I'm not even saying that's wrong, but I'm saying that they spend years normally doing these vaccines so they can test for things and find out what problems may be linked to something. And so all of a sudden you get this thing pushed through. And one of the side effects, or one of the things that they were finding, the correlation was a lot of younger, otherwise healthy people before this were suffering with heart issues, like out of nowhere. And the common denominator was the vaccine. And so for Elon to just bring this up, I don't think is a huge thing. I think that a lot of people were probably asking that question. Do you think the doctors are sitting there going, well, let's not try to find out what happened. Let's just, let's show concern for the family. Let's not ask any questions. No, I'm sure the doctors are like, what happened? Mm-hmm. You're this 19-year-old kid that's an amazing athlete. You should not be having this. Mm-hmm. Let's run some tests. Mm-hmm. So they're looking at congenital heart things. They're looking at all this stuff. But then maybe it did. We have to be willing to accept that maybe inside of every medical advancement we have, there's always problems for some people. Always. But to deny and say it just doesn't happen. No, that's a lie. The government has never, ever hurt anyone. No, the government used to do lobotomies on people, and the horrific things that they ascribed to for people with special needs in the 40s and 50s. So it's not just a past. It has to be held accountable. And so to just say, oh, no, this can't be a thing, is ludicrous. So have the conversation. Be open enough and be mature enough to say, I want, even if you are a vaxxer, and I'm vaccinated, okay? I'm not anti-vax. I got vaccinated because I wanted to travel, and they were holding up my life because they held my life hostage unless I lockstepped with that. And I did. I caved. Some people don't cave. I caved. But by the same token, I did never get COVID either, so I can't complain too much about it. But even if you are a vaxxer, and that's fine, but just be willing to say that maybe this should be looked at. Maybe we did something that helped a bunch of people, but it might have hurt some people too. So how do we deal with that?
Well, and two, if we can find out that is a legit concern, you could actually save some people's lives.
Yes, you can fix it, or you can look for it. You
Be
can
preemptive about hard stuff.
Yeah, they called him irresponsible. And again, like I think it's just as irresponsible to not. Like that was the big thing during COVID was anybody that had a different opinion or a different experience within COVID. If it didn't match the narrative, you were irresponsible and your voice was shut down. Mark Zuckerberg lockstepped and shut things down on Facebook. And so it's like a lot of these people did that. I think that's irresponsible. That's censorship and that's stopping something. I know they all did it out of what they thought was for the good of the public interest. I do believe that. I do believe they all felt they were doing what was right. But like I had friends that were telling their experience that was not good with things and it was getting flagged. And it's like, well, that's not right either. You know, you that's irresponsible. Just to say it's irresponsible of Elon, but then to not look into anything is equally as irresponsible. You know, so anyway, that was a weird story. And then there's a new thing that we're supposed to be concerned about, red meat allergies. Ew. Like I guess if your cows get stung by this Lone Star tick, it can do something in the meat that can make you sick. There's also a tick that can bite you that can make you not be able to eat red meat anymore. It might be that same tick if you get bitten by one because you get like really ill. And then I thought, Phil, remember Phil, my best friend? If you've listened to the regular podcast, you'll know who he is. But he was like really ill here and laying down, couldn't move for like 7 hours the other day. And I want to ask him what he had for lunch because maybe it was this because all the symptoms he had were exactly this: extreme gut pain, all the bad stuff with the stomach bug.
Were you there to wipe his fevered brow?
I wasn't even here. I let him down. I wasn't here.
Hold his hair.
I wasn't here. I would have if I had been here. I would have.
You're the worst.
Pastor Chad did show up for him, you know, and so. But anyway, so that's something that they're like, yeah, this is kind of a thing now. We might want to keep an eye on that. That was weird. And
wow, to be someone who wants to get out of here.
No. I mean, I could go on about Bud Light, but I figured I've ranted enough. Although they are cutting jobs. Go woke, go broke, yo. That's fascinating to me. So they're not cutting a ton of jobs. I think it's about 320 jobs, which, hey, if you're one of those 320. So they did the whole thing with the trans dude. And so, I'm going to stick by that. So they did that whole thing with Dylan and you know, being their spokesperson, and people that drink their product were like, absolutely not. I'm not accepting this. This is not my brand of beer anymore. And so they boycotted and they stopped buying. I figured that would last a week and that sales would be back to normal. They have lost hundreds of millions of dollars off of this advertising stunt. They even fired the person that
really?
And that surprises me. I figured they wouldn't fire that person because then they'll claim discrimination. But it's like, no, you just lost us millions of dollars. Your job is to make us millions of dollars.
Business.
Yeah, exactly. And so, I think for me, the saddest part of this, though, is the people that are now losing their jobs because of this dumb publicity thing and getting caught up in the politics of it. And while I think the people that boycotted it, great, I support you. I think that's great to have your voice heard because it's the other voice is so loud. You get to have your voice heard as well. But I hate that these other people get caught in the middle of it and they're like, I got to make my rent still, and I didn't do anything wrong. I wanted nothing to do with any of this. I didn't sign off on the dumb marketing, and I didn't, partake in the boycott, but I take the hit. So there you go.
So you did do it.
I did, yeah. I limped into it kind of thing, but not like crazy passionate. So, Lady Rock, what do you got?
Sofia Vergara, she is known as Gloria on Modern Family, also as a judge on America's Got Talent. Oh, yeah. But she most recently made a announcement that her and her husband, Joe, he's an actor.
Is he?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I don't know. I don't know him.
Maybe?
Suits? Okay, yeah. I don't really know his work. I just know that they were married.
Yeah, so they are getting a divorce. But now people are saying that their divorce is having to deal with who has got custody of their dog.
Did they have? She had a son. I don't know if it was with him.
No, it's with someone else.
Okay, so they didn't have any kids.
He's older.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. Because I'm like the whole time I'm thinking they're fighting over their dog, but who's getting the kids?
No. The kid is old enough to take care of himself. I think he's like in his late 20s, early 30s.
Yeah, I've seen him do commercials with her.
Yeah. So they have her and her ex now have a little dog named Bubbles. He's a little white chihuahua. But they are both fighting for custody or trying to figure out what that looks like.
Oh, co-parenting. We're co-parents.
I did a little bit of digging on is this a typical thing?
I can see it, yeah.
A lot of lawyers are saying it's now become part of their job. Like more and more they are seeing where custody is coming, like with pets, has become more and more of a thing.
Well, you think about it. I mean, people love their pets, and sometimes, like somebody might, like one of the spouses might go, "Oh, I want to get a dog." Like, say the wife is like, "Oh, I want to get a dog," and the husband's like, "I don't know, I don't really want a dog." And then they get the dog, but then all of a sudden the dog loves the husband, and it becomes his best friend. And so she would be making the case, well, he didn't even want the dog, but then now he's like, "I love this dog so much." And sometimes I think people would even make a thing like, "I don't like the dog, but I'm going to use it as a
for sure,
a tool."
I read an article that said there was a couple that spent at least $60,000 fighting for who would have custody over a dog.
I believe it. I believe it. Yeah.
Now, y'all aren't going to get divorces, but hypothetically.
Thanks for saying that.
Yes, hypothetically. Cool. Gavin, especially, I want to know this. You and Haley. So you have two dogs. Jasper and Ellie.
It's easy. You split them down the middle.
But
which
he
one?
doesn't want Jasper.
He doesn't.
He doesn't want Jasper.
For a little while, we've had that hypothetical discussion where like Ellie is Haley's dog and Jasper is my dog.
No one's? Oh.
No, he's my dog. And I'm about ready to say that I'd be like, you take both, because she would take both.
Oh, really?
I wouldn't want to separate them.
Yeah.
If I gave that power, because I mean, I probably am running on an average of 5 hours of sleep this week. Per night, just because of him.
Yeah.
So
I resent him so much.
And wait till you
have kids and you can't get rid of them.
We're finding the solution right now. They're sleeping in the living room. We're literally, let's shut the door. Ooh, great idea. And at 2 a.m., that guy's out there barking because he's like, where are you? So. Yeah, I would give up. I wouldn't take him.
Maybe you could get one of those collars that it doesn't hurt
the
them.
Buzz ones, not the shock ones. I'm telling you that my sister, it worked for them. But they don't use the shock, but it buzzes them and gives them a little beep. And you don't have to get up. You can just use a remote. It's kind of nice. If Hank was still alive and Marty and I were going to court, she would fight me tooth and toenail for that cat. She would want, she would give up everything for Hank. Sasha, she would be like, you can have it. That's fine. No, not a problem. Yeah. But Hank was her biggest boy. And so then the petty part of me would be like, I want Hank too. I want him more than you. I can provide him a stable home. Now
let me ask you this question. Wouldn't it be kind of ironic if neither of you wanted Sasha, but you would fight tooth and nail just to be
I know
mean?
People that do that. They've used so many things. Sometimes they've used their kids as gambits basically inside of, custody battles. It's just ugly. But
let me ask you this hypothetical question.
Sure.
Hypothetically, have you thought about, let's say you and your spouse pass. Who gets the pets?
Oh, we're dead? Oh. Yeah. I'm not expecting to outlive Sasha. I'm expecting to outlive Sasha.
She's 14?
Yeah. She's
that'd be quick.
Yeah, she walks a
little
little more painful every day.
Well, she's got a lot of weight to carry.
She is. I call her Blob now. One day I was like, "Hey, Blob." Marty thought I was talking to her. Oh my gosh! I'm talking to the cat. I call her Blob now because it was a new name. She looks at me like, "What did you just say?"
Oh my word.
I talked to Sasha. I wouldn't care. I'm dead.
Yeah.
I'm dead. Like,
who cares?
That's the thing. Everyone talks about like, what about the environment? Like, I'm dead. I don't care. Like, and I know that
But
seems
Sasha
very...
Bear is expecting her lunch.
Yeah, as long as somebody takes her and she's not just left in a house to like wither away, that's fine. Like,
Yeah.
not so much for Jasper.
But
Jasper needs to be free. Just let him free roam.
Give him to a farm.
But he would probably do well at a farm.
I think he probably would do well at a farm. I would want him to go somewhere where somebody could put him somewhere for the night, but they couldn't hear him.
Yeah.
And they would be fine with cleaning things up if they had to.
You don't have like a friend or or relative that you would
the couple that we used to like hang out with like all the time when we moved out here, like originally we're like, they had talked about wanting a dog. They've got cats, but like both Ellie and Jasper are great with cats, but like we don't see them as often now, so I'm like, I don't know if they want 3 cats, 2 dogs.
It's tricky. Like we had a friend of ours that just got rid of their dog. They had it for a couple years and we're trying, and they're like, it just didn't work. I had a dog for a little bit. I had dogs growing up and I loved it. But when I became an adult and had a family and stuff, we got a dog. We thought it'd be fun for my daughter and we thought it'd be good. And it didn't work. Like we were not dog people, it turns out. And so we found a really good home for him. Heaven. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. No, so we found a really good home for him with a family that would love him and stuff.
When was this?
This was in Atlanta, right before my family moved up here. So it's when I was commuting that year and a half. And so I would go home and the dog was just nuts on the weekend. And so like, we realized we weren't dog people, and that we were cat people. So we need to stay in that lane. Betty Rock tried to become a dog person. I'm like, no.
You flirted with the teacup chihuahua thing.
Flirted with the idea.
So glad you didn't do that. Because now you got Beans, and Beans is great.
And I love Buford.
And then you're going to get Rayford Allen.
We'll see.
But Gavin, like I felt guilt over getting rid of the dog that I had for a year or whatever. Like I felt guilty. Would you feel guilty if you like you failed somehow if you took Jasper to some family and were like, hey, here's the dog. He's great.
Oh, I'd hate it.
Would you?
I would hate it. Yeah, I would. I know I sit here and probably I just need to stop complaining about it because like I do love him like as like he's my little buddy at home. And when it is every good. Last bit of not 12 to 4 a.m.
Right.
Like it is 12 to 4 a.m. He does one individual thing that is really hard on my schedule.
Right.
If I get up and every once in a while I look at Haley and I'm just like, I can't stand you. You could just sleep until 6. Like,
you say that to Haley?
Yeah. She doesn't hear it. But I say these are things that I've said to her though out loud is that I'm like, I hate how fast you can fall asleep because I'll lay there in bed and I was in bed till I got in bed at 8 and she got in bed at 9. Right. And I was still awake.
Oh,
and
yeah.
So,
I'm asleep in 5 minutes.
I struggled to fall asleep. And then she doesn't sleep well throughout the night. Like, that's my thing is that I'll sleep hard until something wakes me. She'll be up and down. But I look at her when I'm leaving the house at 4:50 and it's like, I'm so jealous of the fact that you can be like, oh, he woke up again. But then you can recover in those like 3 or 4 hours in between.
Yeah, you don't have any.
I don't have any little leeway for when 2 a.m. rolls around and he decides to wake up.
Yeah.
So there's just no recovery. And
That's
I'm not a natural napper like you are, Betty.
Oh, you should though.
I probably should put it into practice. It probably would help me.
I love it. Wally's writing something down.
I was writing a note down because I'm also still, because we'll get into weekend plans here in a minute, but like leaving. And so I still have to prep a show for the day that I get back. And Gavin said something in that I'm like, oh, that's a good topic. And so we'll do that for a topic.
This man's always working.
I know. Yeah, I do work.
The grind is real.
The grind is real. I felt bad. I was calling Gavin last night at 8:30 at night needing stuff.
In fairness, you didn't call me.
Oh, I texted you.
Did you call me?
What?
Did you call me?
Yeah. I called you once to ask you a question.
Did. It was 2 different things.
I think you were out somewhere and you're like, oh, I'll do it when I get home.
Yes.
And then I did the other thing too, but I'm like, I needed to because I was working.
Yep.
And because I had gone and played in the afternoon, and so I knew that was going to cost me. And so when I got home, then it was like I had all this stuff I still had to do, and I was like cursing myself, like, so I had to stay up late and get stuff done.
I feel like you because it was funny. I feel like in the afternoon yesterday, I could sense that like little struggle struggle in your brain of like, do I go? Do I not? 'Cause
Yes.
you're like, I just don't know. And then all of a sudden you're walking in with your like tight shorts on and you're like, I'm going.
Thanks for noticing.
I'm going to the lake.
Yeah. And so I left, so I went and played, but I was on the fence. And then I'm like, well, I'll just work when I get home. And then when I got home, I had discovered something else that was like another problem that then took me another hour and a half to do. And so then that pushed everything back. And by the time I noticed, like, I'm texting you, and then I finished working like at 9:00 last night, which is normally when I'm in bed. And so I was like,
So,
yeah.
Vacation.
Yeah.
Right there tomorrow.
I know.
You're there.
All right. Well, let's do birthdays, then weekend plans.
We don't have any birthdays.
Then let's do weekend plans.
You know what, though? We probably should do something because we're not going to be here for a little bit. So
Yeah.
there are two
Are
that
there
we
any?
should
Oh, then
do.
let's get
Celebrate
ahead.
them now.
Please,
Yes,
please.
that's important.
Better early than late.
That's right. Olivia wants to wish Audrey a happy birthday. It's coming up August 1st. So happy early birthday,
Nice.
Audrey.
Mine's the 7th.
She said she's my sister and my best friend. She is super artistic and creative. She makes pencil cases and sells them.
Nice.
She loves The Wally Show and is so happy every day when a new year episode comes out.
Why do we do that as people? Like, I literally just did that. She's like, hers is August 1st. I'm like, mine's August 7th. Like, no one cares.
I
Like-
identify with November birthday people, though.
Yeah, like, why?
Like, oh, when in November?
Yeah, exactly. Why do we care so much about their birthday? Is it just so we can say, "Hey, I have a birthday"? I don't know. Yeah.
And then Elijah, who calls himself Elijah the Great,
Oh, yeah, that's awesome.
is
Yeah.
celebrating a birthday on the
great.
2nd. So happy early
Nice.
birthday.
Hey, I have a birthday in August too.
Okay, we
I'm
know.
going to do that all month long.
Wait a second.
Elijah said that he loves to collect Legos and make funny stop motion animations
Nice.
for
Cool.
his YouTube channel titled Cool Guy Studios. It is the one with
awesome.
a Lego minifigure
I
with
love it.
sunglasses on the front.
Oh,
I love
so
it.
funny.
Okay, so I have a question. Yes, and this one is from Heather. Heather asks, is there a candy or a dessert that you would want to bring back from your childhood that they don't sell anymore?
I actually had one, and then I found that it had come back, and they were selling it, and I was the happiest day of my life. Next to my marriage and the birth of my child, third happiest day of my life. When I was a kid, we used to do these candy sales at school, and you had to go sell these, and it wasn't like the little box of chocolate bars.
Those are good,
These
though.
were metal tins of candy, and they were like this big, and they put like 12 of them in a box, and you're like this 5th grader trying to carry all this heavy candy, and you literally. It was so old school that you had to break the key off on the bottom of the metal tin and put it in there and do the wrap around the thing to get the lid off. Have you ever seen that?
No, this sounds like something from Westerns or something.
You've never seen that? Yeah,
No.
I mean that's how.
It sounds old.
Yeah, I mean that's how things used to be packaged, and so it was this.
Back in my
candy wrap.
day, there was metal.
100%.
I had a skeleton key for my candy.
That's what it was, and you would take the key and you would wrap it around the whole thing. You would unwrap this
Like a
metal
sardine
peeling. Exactly, and so. There were these golden nuggets. They were like kind of like Butterfingers without the chocolate on them, and I think they were called golden nuggets or something. They were so unbelievably good. But that was the only place I'd ever seen them was on these candy sales. So then I am at a Cracker Barrel one day, and you know they have their throwback candy.
Yes.
And I see that they have these. I lose my ever loving mind. I'm like yelling at Marty, they got the things. And I went through a time where there was not a moment in my house where I did not have a can of those. So I would eat them, then I would go back to Cracker Barrel, get another one. And I had a revolving door of these, and it was so good. But they stick in your teeth so much, and they're so sugary. And I'm like, I have a problem. I have to stop this. And so I haven't had them. I'm probably 2 years sober now.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I should get a chip.
Add seriousness to that.
I'm pretty happy about that. I'm sober from them, but now I'm starting to feel weak again today. I might make a stop by Cracker Barrel on the way home.
Word.
Vacation candy.
Golden Nuggets.
Golden Nuggets. or something
Golden
like that.
Nuggets.
So good. What about you, Rock?
Mine was kind of the same situation. I loved Dunkaroos. Do you remember those things? They're like little cookies with a little bit of icing in them. And when I even say that out loud, I don't even think something like that would pass these days for kids because so many parents are very health conscious of their kids' diet. And they weren't as focused on that back in the 90s. I loved those things. I didn't want the chocolate ones. I wanted the vanilla ones. And at some point, they stopped making them. And I think I talked about this, and it may have been here. Someone
Because they
pointed
cause
out.
cancer.
No.
They did.
Stop.
Latent cancer
Stop.
in people.
Your face is got stupid face
Bumps up in your
written all
30s, I
over.
think.
Yeah, exactly. Late 30s.
Shut up.
They found that
Anyway,
it usually kicked in hardcore.
So I found out that at Dollar General, they actually still sell them.
Really? Because they're all overstocked. They've been there they're probably
Since the 90s?
Look at the expiration date.
Well, and if it doesn't have one, that's why you're getting the cancer.
But it's so good.
Dunkaroos.
Dunkaroos.
I don't
Yep.
think I've ever had those.
You
Like
should
by the
try
time,
'em.
maybe
You'd love them.
Go by
They
Dollar
have
General.
confetti icing and vanilla wafer cookies. Ooh, so good.
I'll tell you, I went through a weird phase for a while where we would go to the store and buy chocolate icing that you ice cakes with, just in that little plastic cup, and I would sit there with a spoon and just eat the icing.
Wow.
Yeah.
Why not?
How old were you?
I did that with Biscoff.
30. like 28, 30.
I
something
remember
like that.
going with my mom to the grocery store, and they sold these candy cigarettes, and
Oh,
I
yes.
loved them.
Never allowed to have those.
Oh, I was. My mom was
Well, of
like,
course
if you're,
you were.
Yeah, she was like, if you're good, because they were like,
If you're
10,
good.
if you're 10 for $1. And so I'd be real good, and she'd buy me 10 for $1. And then I moved on to Hershey's cookies and cream bars.
Oh,
Yeah.
those were
Ooh.
super good.
So good.
I don't
just
see
love-
those anymore.
Yeah, like we were not allowed to have the candy cigarettes because it's, teaching you to smoke as a kid because they
Right.
had powder in them and they would puff out.
These didn't.
Oh,
These were more like just a sugar stick.
Oh, when I was a kid, you could inhale them or you'd blow out and it would put a little puff of
Yeah,
powder
that's
out.
a terrible little
absolutely.
role model candy.
Absolutely. Like I get not selling that. It's like, hey, here's some new meth candy, like
Yeah.
like here's a syringe. It's got juice in it. This would be
Gosh.
fun.
Crystal, what?
Gavin, what was yours?
I was thinking about pixie sticks. I
Oh,
feel like
yes.
for a season of life, you just went through this little,
So
little
good.
drug-ish looking, pouring a powder on your tongue.
Yeah.
what
like
color
that.
did you like?
I'd go with blue. I
Yeah.
think I'm a massive blue raspberry fan. So ices and all that.
Did you
Ooh, ices.
did you ever get one of those big ones?
I don't think
The
I did.
long sticks
Yeah,
like this long.
Yeah, they would make big.
Oh yeah,
pixie
I do
sticks.
remember that was like a plasticky
Yeah.
rubber
Yeah.
type feeling. Yeah, I remember that. That just felt like so wrong
Well,
for them
now-
to put something like that in the container. They're just like, hey, just pour the sugar on your.
Well, now they make the dispensary things so you can make your own. You can fill your own.
Oh,
and you
I didn't
can,
know that.
Yeah, and you can make different flavor combinations and stuff. This
Have
is
you done it?
No. This reminds me though of Fun Dips.
Ooh, I liked
used to
Fun
love
Dip.
Fun Dip.
Because
With
Fun
that
Dips is
white
basically
little-
that
yeah.
little
Yeah.
white non-tasty
It's kind
stick.
of like a candy cigarette
Just
with
a
a
delivery
pixie
mechanism.
Yeah, all it was to get pixie stick powder in your gullet.
Yeah.
But
What a weird season. Yeah.
Yeah.
stick. Good times.
Good times.
Wax lips were the dumb ones, or the
Ooh.
ones
No,
that
I have
those
no idea
didn't
what that
taste
the
is.
good.
wax Coke bottle thing that would have some
Oh yeah,
weird
they still
liquid
sell
in
those
it.
at Cracker Barrel.
Yeah, I don't understand that.
Oh, I
never.
loved candy peanuts.
Oh,
Those
sure.
orange candy
Oh
peanuts.
yeah, circus peanuts.
Love them.
Yeah.
That feels like
circus
an
peanuts are
old
great.
person
My
thing.
aunt at one time had to take them away from me because
bet.
I was like jumping off the walls.
Yeah, circus peanuts are
So good.
They're a good little boy. I have candy on my table now for my trip, and
I
crackers
saw
and stuff.
a whole bag of cotton candy.
Yeah,
taffy.
you did. I've
And
saved
it was already open.
No, it's
yes,
not
it
open.
was. Yes, it was.
It shouldn't be.
Uh-oh.
I've saved it.
Oh.
I've saved it just for this trip. I
You
have.
probably blocked it out.
I don't know. But yeah, so like now I'm like, I want to go to Cracker Barrel and get some of these things, but they'll get flagged in security because of the metal 10 probably.
Don't risk it. Don't
I
risk
know.
it.
No, I think I need to.
Oh
That's a
my
good idea.
gosh.
I need to go back and get some more candy. I don't think I have enough.
Trust me,
we can
you
plans,
do.
we can plans, we got them, we can plans. Hey!
Vacation plans.
Yes.
Wally's got vacation plans.
Yes, I am flying to. Well, I got to fly to Washington D.C. tomorrow, and then to Copenhagen, and
What time?
1 o'clock and then 5 o'clock.
Okay.
But they've all the Northeast, I guess, yesterday and a little bit this morning and stuff like that. They were all backed up because of severe thunderstorms.
Do you have a good gap of time between flight to Copenhagen and getting on the boat so that if
I have 2 days.
You have
That's
2
why,
days, so
yeah.
you've left. You're safe in that regard.
Absolutely. We flew in early. We learned our lesson because the last time we went overseas for a cruise, we got in the day of the cruise.
Yeah.
My luggage got lost and we were the last people on the boat. And that was nerve-wracking for Marty. She was losing her mind.
Yeah.
And rightfully so. And so this time we're like, okay, it's a weekend before the boat goes, so we'll go out because we're doing a cruise. And so we'll go early. And that way, if we have any travel nightmares, we can fix them. I mean, I have to get, in my head, it seems simple. Just get to Washington and you'll be fine. Mm-hmm. But with the trouble up there, everything could be delayed. So fingers crossed, here we go. But that's what I'm doing. So that's going to be like a 9-day
What are you
thing.
going to do on the cruise?
Well, I mean, it's typical cruise stuff. I mean, the Disney cruises are fun because they do they have like fun things. Like you go to like drawing classes and learn how to draw different characters.
And your daughter's not going with you, right?
No.
Oh, but
We do the Disney cruises even without her just because the service is amazing and everything you do is fun. It's not cheesy shows and the shows and so the entertainment's good. It's super like clean, there's no weird things. And the craziest thing about it is like you would think you're like, I'm just inundated with kids. Kids everywhere. They have parts of the ship that are just for adults and stuff. And like the kids, for the most part, it's not a big deal. Like I don't really notice them that much. And a lot of times, here's what's really interesting is when they go to the kids clubs, the people that work at the kids clubs, they do outings and stuff with them, but they take them through different hallways so they're not like in the halls with people.
Oh, what a wild.
Oh, it's so great.
Wildly organized.
Yeah.
I could see where that would be a win for parents that just want a vacation.
Yes.
But still want to do it with Disney.
Because we took Haley when she was little and she did Pirate Night and they did a show. And so she went and loved going to the kids club and we loved her going to the kids club. and it's weird, like, because the cruise, there's no casino, so there's not that. And it's just, I mean, they just do it well. The service is good. And again, we do them once a year because my wife is a travel agent, gets a really good deal for us for one trip a year. That's all she can do. And so like the cruise was less money than our airline tickets. Like,
Wow.
and that's what's
so good.
crazy.
Yeah.
And so, so we're doing that. So it's something we try to do.
Now, I have to ask because I'm sure the potties are wondering. Do you believe you are bikini ready?
No, not at all. And that's why I'm glad that
How
the
long
weather...
has it been since you decided that you weren't bikini ready?
Oh,
That you'll never get to bikini.
3 or 4 days after I started. I think I made it 4 days into that smoothie thing.
Longer than we thought.
Yeah, I'm pretty proud of myself.
I don't think we'll hear you say anything like that until sometime next year.
Oh, no, when I get back.
No, come on. You'll get back and then we're
feel like
just
heck.
a couple months away from the holidays.
I know.
Don't even try.
Are you going to just eat whatever you like? What kind of food did they have?
Oh, I mean, the food is fantastic. Like, I will go there the first night and I will order 2 shrimp cocktails because I like the shrimp and you dip it in the cold shrimp. And so, like, they give you one. You can order on the menu, but I will say, hey, can I have 2, please? Because I really like this. And this is what I love about the service. Every night from then on, when I show up, because you have the same waiters, I won't say a word. There will be 2 shrimp cocktails waiting for me. Like, it's bougie. Like, they're so good at that. And, like, I'll get a Coke with no ice. And every night, they won't even ask. It will just be there. Once they figure your patterns and know what you like, it's just there.
What's Marty's?
This is great. Dragon, a guy named Dragon was our server last cruise we were on, and she always orders off the kids' meal, so she always gets a bowl of fruit. So every night there's a bowl of fruit from the kids' meal, and she loves their chocolate chip cookies, absolutely loves them, but they're not like on the menu, they're on the snack menu, and she's like, oh, I just love their chocolate chip cookies. He went to wherever they keep them and brought her 10 chocolate chip cookies to take home.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, like that's the thing. Like it's next level.
They spoil you.
They really do.
So when you go on another cruise, you're like, this is
and they don't even care that you're there. Yeah, I've been on some cruises like that. But like other boats, like Royal Caribbean is really good. The bigger Carnival ships are okay. Some of the other ones I've heard that I haven't been on, like MSC, you can get concierge service and have butlers and stuff.
Whoa.
And, yeah, my friends did one of those.
Like that is bougie.
They got a butler for the thing, and the butler does anything you want. Like their kids were like, this is the best. But they did a thing. They bid for it. So basically, you've booked your trip, and they booked like a cheap trip because they're very frugal with their money, and so you can bid for upgrades. And so they bid for this massive room with a butler and a hot tub on the deck. They bid. I think they bid $800 or $900 extra, like kind of like. Not like gambling, but you say, I'm willing to pay this if it's available, then, and other people are bidding on it too. And for whatever reason, I don't know if it's random or if they take the highest bid or whatever, their bid won. And so they got this amazing experience.
That had to be awesome.
For $800 more, and it was fantastic. And so that's some things you can do on cruise lines, like different cruise lines. And some of them are, other was like the high money ones, like the celebrity cruises and things like that. They take as good a care of you. They're really good. So, but we just like Disney.
Well, you'll have to keep everybody updated on stories and.
Yeah, that's the problem. I'm not gonna have internet. So I'm gonna have to do a lot of it when I get back. That's the thing. That's why my wife likes doing cruises, is because I shut down. I'm not even taking my laptop. I decided.
Really?
Yeah, I decided I'm not taking my laptop, and I'm just gonna be in vacation and enjoy it, and I'll deal with the 1,000 emails I have when I get back.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah, so if you're emailing me during that time, unless it's a matter of life and death, I might not respond. Because usually I come back and I still respond to people once I get back.
Yeah.
But then I might not.
I'll be around if you need an email. Gavin at WayFM.
There you go.
Direct to all of Wally's.
Yeah.
Direct anything dramatic towards me, and I will.
Yeah, I always have
handle it.
Out of office that tells them about Pastor Chad and stuff too. Because there's serious stuff. If people need help seriously, by all means, we want you to talk to somebody. But so that's it. So I am excited about it, and I'm excited about lunch today.
That's right. We're taking Wally out for his soon-to-be birthday.
That's right. So thank you.
Undecided locations.
Yeah, I ain't even told you guys. We don't have to do anything. It's totally cool. I'm not going to be here. If you're not here on your birthday, you don't have to do anything. That's the beauty of it.
And I was taking that very seriously.
I know, but then Betty didn't.
Betty cares too much.
I know.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, she does. She hates to admit it. She loves me.
We're going to show up there. She'd be like, I forgot my card. Where is that thing?
Yeah, somehow I know I'm going to pay.
Oops, I lost my
wallet. Betty Rock.
I am also taking the week off, so I'm going to be moving. So it's just going to be just this huge process. So.
Yeah.
But there's good on the other side because you're moving to your own place, and I think that's like a good thing for you for like future and stuff. Putting your own stamp on your own thing, I think is fun. I think you'll enjoy it. It stinks moving.
Right. I think it's kind of like one of those things that it's this thing that you see coming, and it's like I got to be ready for it. Got to be ready for it,
and you're never fully ready for it.
No, and so I just got to get.
And then it runs over you like a truck.
Yeah, I need to just take it one day at a time.
And then like the day you move in, by the end of the night, you're just exhausted. I remember because I used to live in the apartment complex where you live. And I remember I had to do 2 moves that day. I had 2 locations in Georgia that I had to get stuff from, then drive here, pick up my stuff from my house, the apartment I was renting, to then move into my house. It was a nightmare. And by 11 o'clock at night, I was just dead to the world. And my wife was like, we have to stop. And I'm like, we can't. I gotta keep going.
No.
When I move, I try to get everything situated within 2 to 3 days at the most. My life is organized. But it kills me those days. So are you gonna take time over weeks to get it all done and
no, because I will say that I do like to, if I'm going to get it done, I want to get it done.
Especially too where you have a week off to do it.
Right. So I am going to take advantage of the time. But I'm also looking forward to next week because I get to go crash at your place while you and Marty are gone.
Yeah.
And I get to watch Sasha, and then we'll see what kind of havoc I can create.
Oh, yeah. Thanks for that. I appreciate that.
Welcome.
Yeah. I was going to Venmo you before you go. Now I'm going to wait.
That's probably a good
call.
I
probably should wait.
Hold out.
Yeah. Gavin.
I mean, nothing incredible on my end. We're going to like a 3-year-old's birthday party tonight. We went shopping. That's where we were at last night, grabbing way more stuff than we should have for this kid.
Yeah.
But she's awesome, so it'll be fun. I'm really making sure that tomorrow is a day that we do nothing on. Like I told Haley, I'm like, we're not going to initiate like anything with friends. We're going to watch TV shows. We're going to eat like disgusting food and just be pigs. Cause we had Haley's dad and grandpa in town for a long time, and they left just like on Tuesday this week. And then, there's a lot of stuff going on this week on my end and her end. And so I just wanted Saturday to be a day where I didn't have to do anything. And so
that's good,
that means I have to mow today.
I know. I'm mowing when I get home too, like because I gotta mow, because otherwise I'll come back to the jungle.
It's so hot out too.
I know. Yeah.
Can't you just wait till like evening?
Yeah,
like,
you should.
Like 8 o'clock.
That's when the 3-year-olds parties.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I always try to wait until the afternoon, the end of the day to mow.
Yeah. You should just get one of those not robot vacuums, but
robot lawnmower. Yeah,
I saw one.
I've had like varying degrees of regret when we moved into this place, because the landlord, she used to have somebody come and mow for her. Yeah, and it was $70 a month on our end to pay for the mowing process.
That's actually not horrible, because you figure if they come 4 times a month in the summer, like that's really good. Because most time, like now,
well, it was every 2 weeks. It was so it would get pretty bad.
35 every 2 weeks. Yeah.
So it was something where it's like 75 or 70 a month. And at the time, Haley and I were like, you know what? Just a good investment. Let's get our own mower, weed whacker. Yeah. And I don't love it. I don't love doing it, and I love waiting and procrastinating, but procrastinating makes it harder to mow the longer grass.
I will tell you this, the game changer is a riding lawnmower.
I know.
1 billion%.
I just need a bigger yard.
No, my yard is tiny. My yard,
really?
Yes. I don't have an acre. I don't even have a quarter of an acre. I literally have a yard that they do in feet. It's like 9,000 feet or whatever, like
and
it's
you
one
just
of those.
Said I've got.
Yeah, because I hate mowing so much. Like I hate it, and it would take me time, and then I would.
Well, didn't you borrow Zach's just to see, like, if you?
I borrowed a push mower from him.
Oh, okay.
But no, like I hate mowing so much, and so I'm like, you know what, this is dumb. I'm buying a mower, and then I was trying to buy a smaller riding mower, but the smallest one I could find for the price and everything was a 42-inch one, so it's big. And like I mow my yard in little under 30 minutes now, and I don't ever worry about it. Like I'm telling you, it's an investment. It's one of the best investments I've made. Like because now, like I'm gonna go home today, and before I would wait till the end of the day, and I'd be mad the whole time I had to mow. I'll go mow in the middle of the day because I'm out there just got my headphones on, got a little drink in my cup holder, and just mowing, and I'm done in 30 minutes, and I don't hate myself.
I think someday when we've got like a garage or a place we can put stuff like that, then I will probably make that call.
Mine's outside.
Oh, does he? You just keep it
mine's
out there?
on my back.
Like if it rains?
I have a cover for it because I had no room to put it anywhere, and so I drilled into my concrete and put a mounting place, and I have a lock that goes through it, and then I cover it. And because I have no room in my garage. And I'm telling you, it's a game changer. You get like a cheap one at first, maybe
cheap cover or a cheap riding lawnmower.
A cheap riding lawnmower, like get a used one to make sure you like it or whatever.
Yeah, buy it off Facebook Marketplace.
Yeah, I'll come mow your yard one day.
Yeah, I'm telling you, it's a game changer.
My thing right now is like I keep hoping that like Haley will feel inspired to do it by the time I get home.
Nope.
She does not.
No, my wife drops hints all the time. She hates to vacuum. She's like, she broke her rib at a trampoline place years ago. Nothing. She broke her rib. She likes to do dishes. She broke her rib at a trampoline place, and for whatever reason, when she is quilting, it bothers her. If she vacuums, it bothers her. If she sits wrong, it bothers her. I guess anything.
Do you think she's just like saying that though?
No, like she can't breathe sometimes, and so so she'll always be like, oh, I got to vacuum today. She'll say it like 12 times, and like yesterday she kept saying, I'm like, but I'm not home, and I'm going to do something fun this afternoon. If she had waited till today, I would have vacuumed for her, because a lot of times by about the 7th or 8th time, I'll be like, hey, you know what? I'll just do it for you. It's fine. I don't mind. I'll be more than happy to vacuum for you if I'm home. But yeah, she likes to avoid that.
How many things were shelled out to your daughter back in the day? Like what
Not
were there?
Enough.
Really?
Not enough.
I was gonna say, because if you have a son, it's that whole dichotomy of you have a son, that kid's doing everything.
Haley had to vacuum and she had to unload the dishwasher, and both of which she was horrible with. Like, I had to stay on her. Hey, you need to vacuum. Your mom asked you to vacuum. Go do it. And unloading the dishwasher and stuff. Like, she would help us clear plates, but no one's allowed to wash them. So I don't blame her for that. But yeah, we didn't have a lot for her to do, and I think I'd say we missed the mark there, but at her jobs, she's awesome.
Sure.
She just stunk at home. Like, she's great, like, impressing other people. Like, but her room was always a mess and stuff like that. She keeps it clean now, but her room was a mess as a kid. But at work, she's a rock star, So I'm like, hey, why?
That's more valuable.
I told her one time, I'm like, man, and people at your job, like, because like Marty and I would be outside, we'd go outside to weed something, and she would never see that on a weekend or whatever and go, oh, maybe I should go help them. She'd never offer. Like, I wanted her to offer, which never would. And like, there were times I'm like, hey, why don't you come help? How about that? You live here. Why don't you offer to come help now? And then it just is not worth it, at that point. I wanted her to do it because she wanted to, or at least because she felt she should. So anyway.
But she's not going on this trip with you.
No, she is not.
Just you and
Yeah,
Marty.
That's right.
No chores.
Had she maybe weeded some more things, she might would have made the cut.
Different.
But not so. All right. Oh my gosh, 44 minutes.
You know what? I have more things I would like to say.
We do not have time. We have a meeting. We have a meeting.
No, it's fine.
Betty.
We'll just cut it
we have a
close.
meeting and I want to go. Let's go. It's my vacation. So hey, potties, I love you, and I will see you in like 10 days or whatever.
Growing up in poverty has never been easy for children, but with the added challenges of the pandemic, conflict, and natural disasters, families around the world are facing an unprecedented food crisis. Unfortunately, those who are already hungry are now even more desperate. But by sponsoring a child through compassion, you can help provide life-sustaining essentials such as food and clean water. And with your compassionate support, that child can not only survive, but also flourish. You can find out how and choose a child to sponsor when you click on the compassion banner at wayfm.com.